Good morning, my SES. My name is Jessica Olivia.
And my name is Jeremiah James.
We are going to be hosting a debate activity for the new Student Council President candidates.
Before we start, we would like to thank all the candidates for being able to participate in this debate. Without further ado, let us begin the debate with an opening statement from each candidate, starting from candidate number 1. Please come forth to the podium to give your opening statement. One minute will be given to you to give an opening statement, and the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Good morning, teachers, my fellow candidates. We are candidate 1. I am Dylan Rosumi from 10A, and I am running with Kelly Patricia Titradi from 9B. We would like to firstly explain our vision and mission and why we are running. We would like to encourage more student participation into OSIS by creating student-led clubs under OSIS. This way, more students can use their ideas, skills, and talents to help in our organization. Being able to dream about giving more opportunities like these are what drives us to run for president and vice president, where we can learn great things and give chances for others to experience great things. And we are here to hopefully showcase why we deserve a chance of getting that position. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to candidate number 2. Please come forth to the podium. Same as before, the timer will start as soon as you speak.
Hello,
the stage
everyone.
is the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. We're candidate number 2, Tiffany Margareta, as well as Jonathan Huang. We're gonna make this year a better year for everyone, like what our slogan is saying. Candidate 2, cool for the ordinary. So, as you may have remembered from my previous speech about my vision and mission, we're going to make SES a place where we're all inspired, valued, as well as encouraged to grow. As well as my vision, which is Vector. We hope to apply Vector in our student council to make this organization a better one. As for our events, we're also going to try our best to fulfill our promises and encourage students to unlock new potential as well as their hidden skills. Vote for candidate 2, cool for the ordinary. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to candidate number 3. Please come forth to the podium. Same as before, the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Okay, good morning everyone and my fellow candidates and my fellow OSIS people, please. So we're from candidate 2. My name is Hazel Madeline Tan from 10A and this is
Key Prospera from 9B.
Okay, so first we'd like to reintroduce our vision again. Our vision is to create a more dynamic environment where everyone feels needed and where everyone's voice could be heard for us to improve, and we want to bring everyone's talents and skills out at the same time. And our mission is, of course, to make the events that would provide that and make everyone's talents show where we can showcase it, and of course, so to remind them that we, the Stuco, are always there for them. And the events are as sports day, esports competition, everything else. And I believe we're the student council to vote as we have experiences in this matter. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to candidate number 4. Please come forth to the podium. Same as before, the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Good morning, my fellow hosts, candidates, and other teams at the back. This morning, we are going to be debating together, and I'd like to introduce myself once again. I am Jacobus Aliano Unkiriwang from 11 Science A, running OSIS candidates for 2024 and 2025 with my vice.
Marilyn Ong from Grade 9C.
So, together, we like to envision and we will bring cultivation for minds and soft skills for students beyond academics. We will be providing a learning environment that's nurtured with humility and open communication, and as well as make everyone happy throughout this school year. And together, imprinting impact forever, bringing fortune to society because we are. Thank you.
Now let's move on to candidate number 5. Please come forth to the podium. Same as before, the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Good morning, fellow candidates and friends. We are from Candidate 5. I'm Aaron, and I'm here today with my Vice Kimora. First of all, we are running for Student Council President and Vice President because we believe that we can make our school a more welcoming, supportive place for everyone, where all voices are heard, and it is also part of our vision as a future candidate and Vice President and Vice.
And lastly, our mission is to represent our students by listening to their ideas and concerns, building a strong and reliable student organization, and organizing events that will bring everyone together so that we could plan a better events for our school.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to candidate number 6. Please come forth to the podium. Same as before, the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Hello everyone, my fellow candidates and the other leaders in the back and everyone here. We are Madeline. I'm Madeline Ignacia from grade 10, 11 Science A. And this,
I'm Crystal from 9A.
we're candidate 6 and we're striving for success. So we stand here as a room of people with potential leadership skills. And I want all of us to show our potential and commence this debate in a friendly, civil way, because I want to know how everyone is like in here, and we want to show how we are, and we would like to show you how our school is. And wait, what am I saying? Oh, shit. We want students here to feel appreciated for who they are beyond the academic value, and we envision a school where everyone here belongs for who they are.
For our vision statement, we envision a future where every student finds a place to belong, free from the weight of academic labels. Our goal is to create a community where connections flow naturally, bridging gaps and fostering understanding.
Your 1 minute has ended. You may go back to your seat. Now, for the last candidate, we can move on to candidate number 7. Please come forth to the podium.
Good morning, moderators, fellow candidates, and other viewers. I'm Tiffany Abigail, running for Student Council President,
And I'm Abdul Vijay, running for Vice President.
to reinstate our goals as candidate number 7, we would love to create a school that goes beyond academics, creating a vibrant, engaging, and welcoming school community where students can cultivate and nurture their talents and passion while creating lasting bonds and memories together.
Our opportunities is that everyone in our student council is included in the process. So student-led clubs in the school, comps, and also Model United Nations. And there's also the events for this is also the teacher versus students, and also Spirit Week, SES Fest, where everyone can show their talents.
So if you're elected, we would love to take on the responsibility, and we promise to fulfill our duties and promises that we made along the way. Thank you.
Now, we will get to the next part of the debate, the questions. Now, we will distribute you your question papers.
We will start from question 1. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to think and 2 minutes to answer the question. You may think of your answer on your seat first. After 1 minute, we will call you to come forward.
Now, we will start from question number 1. For question number 1, your question is, as the head of the student council, there are many issues which pose a threat to the unity of the school. How will you address issues such as bullying or exclusivity in our school community and foster a sense of unity? I repeat, as the head of the student council, there are many issues which pose a threat to the unity of the school. How will you address issues such as bullying or exclusivity in our school community and foster a sense of unity? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
As the head of Stuco, where the question is, how do we stop bullying? If I were the head, of course, first I will encourage students to stop bullying by telling them that bullying is not good for students, and also we can apply posters in every floors so that students can know and be reminded that bullying is such a very bad thing. Also, we would like to plan events that could bring us together, and by bringing us together, we can be friends, and of course, it will stop the bullying because we are already as a friends. Okay, thank you.
Candidate 5, please stay at the podium. Okay. Now we can have a maximum of 1 candidate to rebut the 5th candidate's statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
Oh, this is so bad, bro.
The first argument will be coming from candidate number 1. So may you please state your argument.
So bullying can be a scary thing for people, and don't you think that people who are bullied wouldn't be brave enough to state out their problems? So how do you plan on gaining their trust and like talking to them about their problems and come forward so they can be in one? Thank you.
Now, candidate 5, you are given 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer will start the moment you speak.
First of all, we have the Mr. Craig and like other teachers like Miss Wanda, and I think the counseling can be very helpful. But how can we help is where we will probably open like a department where it can help students that want to be one curhat that, and I think it's very helpful for them.
Thank you.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 5. You may now return to your seat. We will carry on to the next question.
For question number 2, your question is, a good student council listens to the voice of the students. How will you ensure that your programs address and reflect the diverse needs and interests of all students? I repeat, a good student council listens to the voice of the students. How will you ensure that your programs address and reflect the diverse needs and interests of all students? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
Okay, to answer the question, again, one of our vision is to establish student forums, a place where students can voice their opinions, concerns. So through this, we can get their ideas and we can integrate it into our programs. And let's say we do have an event and we get feedbacks, we'll of course look into it and integrate other ideas and put it into our event so that everyone can feel included. And we'll try to make events more inclusive instead of exclusive to just one group. For example, according to their religion, we can make it more inclusive. So that not just one group can feel included in case they have restrictions due to their religion. I guess that's it.
Now we can have a maximum of one candidate to rebut the 7th candidate statement. If any of you wants to, please may you raise your hand.
The argument will be coming from candidate number 4. Yeah. So may you. Belum. Okay. Maaf. Hilang ya. The argument will be coming from. The argument will be coming from candidate number 4. May you please state your argument?
So, for the forums and things like that, if you guys have a lot of events from what I've seen, won't students be tired to keep on answering those forums, and eventually bias will come around depending on who you're going to let evaluate all the answers? So how are you going to make sure that it is a very strong feedback?
So to answer your question, for our concept of the forums, it's kind of like social media. If you know Twitter, it's something like that. So where students can kind of post their opinions. It doesn't have to be based on the events. It can just be like homework help maybe. They can post it there to the community as well. So if you do have events, we'll obviously post about the events on that forum itself. And if they do have suggestions, they are welcome to input their suggestions, but it's not something that is pushed onto them. So if they do not want to answer it, and then we also have our own community as well, the OSIS community. So we can also get opinions from them because we are a very diverse school as a school that's based in Indonesia. So I don't think that would be a problem. But if we do want to establish that, we also have a department that will handle student opinions and stuff. So maybe we can use them as well.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 7. You may now return to your seat. We will carry on to the next question.
For question number 3, Your question is, transparency is one of the key qualities of a good student council. How important is transparency in the student council, and how do you plan to ensure transparency in the student council? I repeat, transparency is one of the key qualities of a good student council. How important is transparency in the student council, and how do you plan to ensure transparency in the student council? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
Okay, so the question stated that transparency is a key quality in an organization, and I agree strongly with that. And it is important because if you don't have transparency in an organization, no one can grow. We cannot gain feedback from each other. We cannot learn from each other's feedback. And feedback or like comments from other people is what you use to grow in an environment. We need to gain trust from our members and people included in our organization. Even from the students themselves, we need to gain transparency about events being suitable for them and stuff like that. We need to gain transparency and trust from the students and our own members. We can create bonds by communication. Obviously, in an organization, we need to learn how to communicate with our members, see what's best for us, and that's really important with transparency because we need to know what they like, what they don't like, and see how we can resolve problems in our organization so we can work closely together and create what's best for the school. Thank you.
Now we can have a maximum of one candidate to rebut the first candidate's statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
By several students, how are you supposed to make them open up by showing your events or something like that if they don't even feel safe around their school community? And how are you going to address that problem? Thank you.
Okay, can I direct answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ella.
Okay, so since you stated that transparency is important for our school community, well, some students prefer not to open up themselves as they say that maybe they could get blackmailed or something like that, or maybe even bullying because certain people may not agree on their opinion. So how are you gonna state that transparency matters in our school, and how do you apply that to several students as they don't feel safe to open up in the school? Thank you.
You are given 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer starts as soon as you speak.
Okay, thank you for the question. So, about being trusted, I've learned in my whole life that to trust someone, you need to show them that you can be trusted. And that is the main thing that I will be emphasizing in my argument. So, if you show that you can be trusted and the student council is a place where you can feel safe, then that's where people get responses. However, if people are still scared to do that, or I think it's convenient for everyone to, for example, after an event and we have feedback from the students, we can make it anonymous. So students won't feel a pressure to be like, oh, people might think that I am a hater because I keep saying this event is like not nice. No, 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 no. But we all have difference in opinions in the end of the day, and we shouldn't judge each other for our difference in opinions. However, we should find a middle ground for everyone so we can have a good community.
Your 1 minute has ended.
You may now return to your seat. We will carry on to the next question.
For question number 4, your question is, collaboration is another key quality in a student council. How do you plan to collaborate with teachers, administrators, and parents to achieve your goals? I repeat, collaboration is another key quality in a student council. How do you plan to collaborate with teachers, administrators, and parents to achieve your goals? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your timer starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
It is true that collaboration is a key factor in establishing a strong organization because, of course, as the school community, we have to all be connected at all times and we have to have open communication so that we're able to receive feedback and able to establish what we want in this foundation. Like especially during events, teachers, students, parents may not agree on one thing, but we can make compromises that we can all agree on so that the event will be agreeable on all sides, and we have to reach an understanding for all perspectives because not everyone wants something the way it is, as we have to reach an agreement on why we want it that way.
Additionally, creating collaborative initiatives such as seminars where parents, administration, and admins are able to talk, or voice their opinions could also help in promoting the whole transparency and collaborative efforts that we aim to sort of integrate in our student council community.
Finally, we want every student and every students to collaborate with the student council as well, so that we can all make a good school environment for all of us to enjoy, especially with teachers and administrators as well. Thank you.
May you please stay on the podium.
Okay. Now we can have a maximum of 1 candidate to rebut the 6th candidate statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
Candidate, who wants to?
Oh
yeah.
Okay. The first argument will be coming from candidate 7. May you please state your argument.
Okay, so the question is about the involvement of staff, parents, and everyone, right? Some of your events include like prom night, and some stuff that might be controversial to parents, how you ensure that even though the children and not yeah the children and the parents have differences in opinions, they could still enjoy the events that you have prepared for them, despite the parents being a bit strict.
You have 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer will start the moment you speak.
First, prom night is not exactly prom night because we rebranded it into masquerade, but that is a good question because parents might not agree with something related to prom because there could be many things that could go wrong at night in school. But of course, it's a masquerade event, so it's going to be around the afternoon or evening, and we will have a broadcasting team to ensure that parents can state their concerns to us, and we'll relay back our messages and answers to how we can make sure that their children are safe, as well as make sure teachers can also agree on this, because prom night is also something that's really unagreed in this country. So of course we would like for everyone to be comfortable first. So that's why our broadcasting team will be able to relay messages and provide open communication within our organization and the school community. Thank you.
You will now return to your seat. We will carry on with the next question.
For question number 5, your question is, one of the skills needed in the student council is money management. How will you get the fundings for your programs and manage it to ensure it is used effectively and efficiently? I repeat, your question is, one of the skills needed in the student council is money management. How will you get the fundings for your programs and manage it to ensure it is used effectively and efficiently? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your timer starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
Okay. Thank you so much for this question. So in this school, we have a certain system called the 5K each month, made by almost every single treasurer, which some students will have to pay for the event's budget. I've been a treasurer in the student council, vice treasurer in the student council for once, so I know how to calculate the budget for each and every single event properly. And we want events where we can really raise money, such as, for example, open house, where we can bring students together, also raise money and have fun together. And of course, we'll have events where we're going to use our money efficiently and manage the money so that it will be enough and we can complete the event with the budget that we have. And it doesn't have to be that much, because we will find events that will encourage that fun activity, bring students together, and of course make the school a more dynamic environment. Yeah, and most of all, of course, we wouldn't make budgets that do not, we will not make events that do not fit in our budget. And we should encourage the students to, of course, do their monthly 5K each, because we will use this money for them and for everyone in this school. So everyone should collaborate as one in this diverse school and make the school a better place by paying what the 5K each, which is needed for the events that we're going to make. Thank you.
Okay. Now we can have a maximum of one candidate to rebut the third candidate's statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
Hey, who raises it faster?
Madeline was first.
Hey, I'll say 1, 2, 3, and you guys raise your hands.
Oh, Madeline was first.
Oh, Madeline was first?
Yeah.
Alright. Wait.
So fast.
argument will be coming from candidate number 6. May you please state your argument?
How do you ensure that every student in this school will pay the 5K monthly? Because there are many concerns to where the money goes to, even though we encourage it and state that the money will only go to events and nowhere else.
You have 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer will start as soon as you speak.
Okay, so the student council is supposed to be a transparent and honest place, of course, where everyone should collaborate too. So we must have an honest community for everyone to trust us and really do and pay. And of course, as student council, we're not going to profit from that money, and we're going to use that to for events effectively for you all. And
you say how you're gonna ensure that students will pay. There's gonna be a treasurer in every class that's gonna get a list, and they're gonna sign if they have paid and if they haven't. And if they haven't, well, we're gonna just make a list and ask them to pay again.
I know most of the students in most classes haven't really applied that, even though we've encouraged that a lot. But since in my reign, I will ensure that every single class will have a certain student that will make sure that everyone should pay and collaborate in this. Thank you.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 3. You may now return to your seat. We will carry on to the next question.
For question number 6, your question is, the journey as a part of the student council is full of obstacles. What are some challenges you anticipate in this role and how would you approach them? I repeat, your question is, the journey as a part of the student council is full of obstacles. What are some challenges you anticipate in this role and how would you approach them? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your timer starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer.
Okay, so the question was about what we anticipate, what obstacles that we're going to face, and how we're going to tackle them. I believe the very first obstacle is first putting ourselves into the ring of fire of leadership. That's a very hard one because last year I failed to overcome that, but now I'm here. And other obstacles would be one, the ability and all the problems in trying to communicate with everyone because everyone have their own opinions, they have their own type of open-mindedness, and how the both of us will be managing ourselves to be able to bring everyone together is that one, meetings also, we will also like encourage ourselves together to always have ourselves have time for whatever our people that we're going to be working with, and also for maybe other obstacles and problems like maybe management of activities between school and student council, because this school provides a lot of assignments. That's a fact. And I'd say that the both of us, we have disciplined ourselves throughout last year. I've talked to my vice and we've discussed this. We've prepared ourselves 1 year during last year. We know what to do. The moment we go home, we will be tackling whatever we have to do for school, and then tackling whatever we have to do for our OSIS. And anything you want to add? We're done? Thank you.
Now we can have a maximum of 1 candidate to rebut the 4th candidate's statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
The argument will be coming from candidate number 3. May you please state your argument?
Okay, so you've mentioned that we also have a lot of school works during school time. So, for example, you run into an unexpected obstacle which we really need to tackle, since you said that it's a really tough job for us to tackle both stuff at once. How are you sure that you can really balance this without any miscommunications and that you won't fail to bring the student council up as a good organization? Like, how are you sure that you can balance this while tackling all the obstacles you get from OSIS? Thank you.
You have 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer will start as soon as you speak.
Okay, so the first thing that probably anyone in my position would say will be time management, but I'd say that is absolutely wrong because you don't manage your time, you manage your activity. So I'd say I have disciplined myself by always making sure that I work on the school assignments the moment I reach home. And I usually let 30 minutes after I finished everything, maybe at the night, to do whatever I want, maybe skills outside of school that I want to develop. And about adding OSIS things, perhaps I could also add more time and effort, especially time before going home or time in lunch break to do activities that maybe I can easily do instead of waiting them to do it at home. So that way I have more time to work on OSIS and other things, and also making more time to communicate with my people. Thank you.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 4. You may now return to your seat. We will carry on to the last question.
For the last question, question number 7. Your question is, many people will have their eyes on the student council, so it is important to maintain a good image as a part of the student council. Do you think the student council has a responsibility to enforce the rules written in the handbook to other students, and why? I repeat, your question is, many people will have their eyes on the student council, so it is important to maintain a good image as a part of the student council. Do you think the student council has a responsibility to enforce the rules written in the handbook to other students, and why? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your timer starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 2 minutes to tell us your answer. May you please come forth to the podium and tell us your answer.
So it is true that all eyes are on us, the student council. So in order to be a good student council, we have to be sure that we can follow the student handbook well. We can be great student leaders, even in class, because that's how people can see the leader quality that you have. You have to show them starting from the smaller environment, such as your classrooms. We have to be able to follow rules, such as coming to class on time, as well as finishing our assignments on time. So in order to be a good student council, we have to set good example to everyone, because that's how all other people are going to follow our rules. Since we have set the example, it's going to be easier for them to follow what we do, because our rules are actually applicable and great for everyone to follow.
As a student council, we need to have an image as a good student and be responsible, because as you can see, if we had like a bad image, the other students will see us as a bad leader, and they will apply it to their daily life, and that's a bad thing, and we don't want that to happen. Thank you.
Now we can have a maximum of one candidate to rebut the second candidate's statement. If any of you wants to, may you please raise your hand.
The argument will be coming from candidate number 5. May you please state your argument?
If someone violates the handbook, what will you do to them? And if the OSIS image is like damaged, what will you do? Thank you.
You are given 1 minute to state your counter argument. The timer will start the moment you speak.
Okay, so if a student violates the student handbook, it is not our rights to actually do something about it. We have the teachers, we have the department record, we have the student leaders, and it's not on us actually because that's on the student and the teachers. Now, if the student council has a bad image, what will I do? We have to set a good example, like what I said earlier. By setting a good example, we can try and fix those bad images, and we can apply new, like a fresh start to everyone, and show that we are not actually like that. So we're going to try and fix the things that may have been broken. So yeah, you wanna add?
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 2. You may now return to your seat. Wow, what a debate it has been.
Yeah, everyone presented a good argument, and seeing them defend their argument against another argument is really interesting.
Yeah, for real. But anyways, that is all for this session of the debate. Let us now hear the closing statement from each candidate, starting from candidate 1. Please come forth to the podium to state your closing remarks. You are given 1 minute to state your closing speech.
As we come to the end of this debate, we want to thank everyone for engaging in this important discussion. We've presented our points to show why we are the right fit to be this year's Student Council President and Vice President. We promise to do our best to lead this organization and grow with one another. With your support, we believe we can all work together, support each other's ideas, and create an entrusted organization. Please support our vision so we can support yours. Thank you for your time, and let us make dreams a reality, one step at a time.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate 1.
Now, moving on to candidate number 2, please come forth to the podium as well. The timer will start the moment you speak.
So as you have heard, electing candidate 2 as your student council representative means choosing someone dedicated to making our school a better place. We have outlined plans to improve school events, address student concerns, and stronger connections between us and the administration. Together, we can create a more vibrant school environment where every choice is heard. Vote for candidate 2, and let's make positive change for everyone. Thank you.
Candidate Tukul for the ordinary.
Now, moving on to candidate number 3, please come forth to the podium as well. The timer will start as soon as you speak.
As we have come to an end to our debate, we'd like to say thank you to everyone that has showed us support, and we promise to fulfill our events and obviously our missions and visions. And we also promise to be prepared for unexpected events that will happen to the future.
And of course, we're ready to hear everyone's voices and showcase their talents and uniqueness more, because everyone needs to feel important in the school and collaborate in this diverse place. Thank you, and food for 3.
Let us give a round of applause for candidate number 3. Now, moving on to candidate number 4, please come forth to the podium as well. The timer will start the moment you speak.
Thank you for having all of us here and to discuss each other. And I've learned a lot from all of our debates, all of our arguments. And let's see whoever wins. Let's bring all of these suggestions to make a better place. And from me, good luck to all of us and those who've actually reached this far and watching this. Good for you. Thank you. Because we are going to be imprinting impact.
Bringing fortune to society.
Because we are for the
For the
community.
community.
Thank
Thank
you.